Well, hi everyone. Hey, Jan Scott with you. Back with another Jan Scott Live. Okay, before you even start talking, this is my new Stetson summer straw hat. Just came in yesterday. I have the winter hat, which you see me wearing sometimes in the wintertime. And and for those of you who might be curious, no, I've been wearing cowboy hats really for a long time, probably ever since I came to Boulder in 1974. And it's rodeo time, the granddaddy of them all, going on in Cheyenne starting next weekend. And we covered that with Jan Scott Live and Boulder Channel 1 over the years. And then, of course, the Boulder County Fair is coming up, and they have rodeo there, um, tractor pulls, and everything. So, yeah, this is the new cowboy hat. It works pretty well, thank you. So, I want to talk a little bit today about all these events that have taken place over the past week, and including today. Um, of course, let's see, where are we here? Boulder Weekly closed last week, right? And we had an interview recently with Stuart Sallow on my YouTube channel. And one of the things you might go listen to that, but he pretty much clarifies what happened. Stewart, of course, is the owner, publisher of Boulder Weekly, and then he inherited this person who is Shay, somebody or another. She worked at the Daily Camera, got fired there, then worked on her own thing, was hardly able to eat, and by a freak of nature, she was hired over at Boulder Weekly by some guy that Stewart here was trying to sell the newspaper to, Frankowski or something like that. But he couldn't come up with the money. So what does he do? He bails and he goes back to Colorado Springs where he came from. And where is he working? He's working for a nonprofit, and that really is the problem with Boulder Weekly. Stewart, who spent 32 years building Boulder Weekly, had editors and all of that. She comes on, she's basically a little commie. And she says, Stewart, it's your newspaper, but not really. It's mine. And I want you to stay the hell out of the way. And I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to, including attacking Israel and supporting Hamas. And Stewart pretty much had about enough of that. And he said, I want to see stories that you post up. And she's like, no way, get the hell out. And he's like, you're fired. And that's exactly how that went. She seemed to think inside of her fairly small brain that she was going to take over Boulder Weekly, because she doesn't understand the newspaper business at all. And some of her pals were like, well, you finance it, Stewart, and we'll run it. And he's like, get the hell out. So meanwhile, he's in the middle of reorganizing Boulder Weekly right now because they lost 3 people, 4 people, the writers. So he's got to try to sell it. And I think he will within a couple of weeks. I think you'll see Boulder Weekly come back bigger, better, and stronger than ever with a good buying group. I mean, look, let's face it, that's a multi-million-dollar newspaper. There's no two ways about it. Um, and what happened last week is unfortunate, but it's one of those things that had to have it. Now I've run, of course, Jan Scott Live since the oh God, since the late 80s and 90s. And then we started Boulder Channel 1, which is our online newspaper and television channel. That's been going since 2006. In 2017, we started, look at this, Boulder Radio, um, 87.9 or boulder-radio.com. It is a music-only radio station that's been going since 2017. It's up and running, perfectly legal, as Part C of the FCC. It's like less than, I think, a tenth of a watt, but it's the online version of it that does pretty well. So I'm extremely familiar. I mean, I'll tell you, I've been editing and publishing newspapers and magazines since 1969, including the Boulder Times, Country Census magazine, was really involved in all of that. And then, I worked for the Daily Camera too, also and the Colorado Daily, both in their prime as, check this out, as automobile reviewer, because I became a reviewer, part of the International Automotive Press Corps and the Rocky Mountain Press Corps. So we reviewed cars for about 6 years. That was fun. Great job. If you can get it, but that's all changed now. So, anyways, I think Boulder Weekly will be coming back. And my hat is off to Stuart. He and his wife worked very, very hard to build a really a great progressive alternative weekly newspaper in Boulder, and everyone really should support him. And that other girl, she's like, honestly, she's just immature and really made a very stupid move. She'll be lucky if she ever gets a job in this town again. Now, what's going on in um, Washington? Okay, the Senate looks like it's voted to cut the $8 billion. They're going to cut all the funding for PBS, NPR. Uh, where's KGNU? We have them in here? No, I guess we didn't. But KGNU, they don't take any money from PBS and or from NPR. But a lot of the radio TV stations said we don't really care because we only get about 20% of our money comes from them. Where our real money comes from is um, fund, people like you and these corporate funders. So I don't know if ultimately it's going to make that much of a difference. The last time they talked about this, they just shined on the Trump administration and said, go ahead and cut our funding. We don't really care. Like, I mean, here in Boulder, let's take KGNU. I mean, they have millions and millions and millions of dollars from donors in Boulder. I like to call them communist capitalists. They have big companies and they always say, yes, we're really progressive deep down inside. But deep down inside, they're capitalists. And then to ease their conscience, they give money to KGNU, probably the richest, wealthiest, um, radio station in the entire NPR family, although they don't take anything from NPR. And they've been going for quite a long time. I used to try to get on there, but they'd never let me on. They'd be like, no, what are you? You're too country for us. And which is fine. I don't really give a shit. I bashed them, and we did a TV series called Radio Stations That Hate, and we listed KGNU as one of them because I don't know what they were hating, but they were hating basically everything. Anyways, that's kind of it for this week. Also, this guy, Corey Hutchins, he has like a media news blog. He took the place of Joanne Ostro and Dick Crick. And he has all this stuff. Journalism, the state of journalism is awful, and the capitalists are ruining everything. But he's got a problem too because he does not understand media at all. Look at the New York Times. New York Times, probably the best newspaper in the world. And the New York Times has a lot of ads. They also have kind of a liberal point of view, and they seem to get it done, and everybody loves it. People read it all the time. Um, the state of journalism, it's like if editors are deciding they're going to fight with publishers and don't understand what the newspaper business is, then things have really changed. I mean, look at Katharine Graham when she ran the Washington Post and Ben Bradley was the editor. They had a complete understanding. I mean, they broke, Watergate. They had Daniel Ellsberg's Pentagon Papers in there. They all stayed alive and they all made money. And it has to be a symbiotic relationship between the writers, the editors, and the publishers. Now, here at Boulder Channel 1, we've always had that. We would never let anybody like Shay Castle in here, because in the interview we talked to them about, how they think, how they see the world, like who's the president of the United States, who's the Secretary of State, are you a communist or a capitalist? And anybody that comes out and says I'm a communist or a socialist, they never worked here, because you can't have that kind of mindset um, destroying a publication. And that's what they do. She thought she could get away with it. I don't think she's going to. I think Boulder Weekly is going to be back strong. Hey, check out Boulder Channel 1 for news. You can check out boulder-radio.com for music. And I'm Jan Scott, and this is the end of today's TV show, Go Rockies. Last place team in the Major League.